I guess we're all gonna find. Oh God, we summoned him.
Oh, you're beautiful.
Sorry, we know it's you. I don't know who it is.
No idea.
No idea.
Don't be afraid, it's just me. Oh, okay, so this thing's hot, man. I know it's better, huh? With the mask. Okay, so here's my question for everybody, all right? You saw the intro with the werewolf, right? And here he is right here. What does this got to do with that, with inflammation? Any idea? Anybody? Any thoughts? Well, it's pretty close. You kind of got it there, okay? Now listen to me. It's about this. See, inflammation is not bad. Okay? Inflammation is good. The problem is when it gets out of balance. Because there's anti-inflammatory cytokines, which brings down body inflammation, and pro-inflammatory cytokines. So you have some that downregulate and heal the body, while other ones damage the body. So in the end, what we're talking about is this guy turning into that guy. Make sense? So that's what we're going to learn tonight. We're going to figure out how to bring up anti-inflammatory cytokines and bring down pro-inflammatory cytokines to promote healing. It's that simple. Make sense? Yes? All right, cool. All right, so what is inflammation? Inflammation is one thing, and that's all it is. It's the body trying to heal itself. It's that simple. But oftentimes it gets confused. So in the beginning, here's our planet, we had food. Then what happened? We did stuff. Then came the sad American diet. We started eating processed foods, damaged fats, high sugar. We quit eating food and we started damaging our bodies. The sad American diet, standard American diet. Then came physical stress on the body, which when I started in practice many, many years ago, 35 years ago, that was the number one reason people came to visit me, was for physical injuries. These days, not even close. Emotional stress, huge. Okay? And then chemical stress, even bigger. Okay? I mean, we can't even control some of it. Some of it, we've absolutely no control over that. So the sad American diet, the physical, chemical, emotional stress on our bodies ultimately led to chronic inflammation. So the problem isn't acute inflammation, it's chronic inflammation. So you get a boo-boo on your finger. You get pro-inflammatory cytokines, which kills the buggers, the dirt, the debris, the parasites, the COVID, the bacteria, and it kills all that stuff. That's good. And then the anti-inflammatory cytokines heals the wound, and we got all fixed up, right? The problem is the chronic. This causes by lifestyle changes. That's the challenge we've got. Systemic inflammation all over the body. Okay, so what's this Jekyll and Hyde thing? Okay, or the what's he called? Werewolf, post-werewolf guy. All right, what's that got to do with it? Linoleic acid. All right, that comes from meat, red meat. All right, now that's not necessarily bad for you if it's pasture or grass-finished beef, right? That's good for you. The the fatty acid ratio is beautiful, all right? And then you've got alpha linoleic acid, which is basically fish oil, right? And we all know fish oils are good for us. The problem we do, we poison our oceans and damage our fish, okay? But here's the deal, all right? Alpha linoleic acid and linoleic acid have an enzyme called delta-6 desaturase. All right. Now this is a very important enzyme because these fatty acids feed into a funnel and get converted into something called the prostaglandin. And this one is an anti-inflammatory prostaglandin, E1 and E3. Okay. The problem is we consume so much meat in this country, good and bad version, that we burn out that enzyme. So the enzyme gets shut down. And it shunts everything down the arachidonic acid cascade, and you get prostaglandin E2. Okay? They're hormones. That's all they are. We hear about hormones like testosterone, progesterone, estrogen, cortisol, but these guys get lost. But these are probably the most important for good health than anything you could take. All right? So we've got to make sure that we end up with these anti-inflammatory prostaglandins and pro-inflammatory to a minor effect for acute injury, where our bodies are being bombarded by the pro-inflammatory cytokines. Okay? So the first step towards chronic inflammation, there you go. Okay? Damaged fats, okay? We take damaged trans-hydrogenated oils, okay? They're damaged fats. Now, that causes stress and inflammation on the body. Now, what are they? Canola oil, rapeseed oil. It's the #1 cooking oil in the country. It is an industrial lubricant. It was never meant to be used for food, all right? Never. Soybean oil, corn oil, safflower, cottonseed oil, all those are rancid fats, and they're found in almost every single margarine, bread, cookie, cracker, and salad dressing in the country. And yet we're eating them. The problem is that vegetable oil turns into hydrogenated when heated. So if you take a vegetable oil, heat it, it becomes a hydrogenated oil, and it becomes sticky and gummy, and that's what creates the body inflammation. Okay? So damaged fats, this is that it looks like spikes. You can get good poison in and out, and here it gets stuck. So what happens, the damaged fats are sticky, they prevent improper detoxification, and we build up congestion of poison inside the cells, which then leads us to the path of inflammation. Right, bugs? Right? Okay? So, second step towards chronic inflammation, damaged fat consumption. What are the fats we should be eating? What are the 5? Go.
Avocado.
Avocados.
Butter.
Butter. What kind of butter? Organic butter, real butter. Olive oil, raw nuts and seeds, and coconut oil. Which one should be used for cooking at high temperatures? Right? Because what happens, the same thing with olive oil, if you cook it at high temperature, it becomes hydrogenated and becomes a trans fat. But if you want to cook with olive oil, it's totally okay. Just don't be me. I want to eat my meal yesterday. So I cook it hot. I want it now. Avocado oil is okay to cook with, but again, low heat as well. Okay? Grapeseed oil is okay too. When there's something interesting about grapeseed, okay? They found out grapeseed oil was like really good for you. So what happened? They started cheating, and now the grapeseed oil is all poisonous because they cheated with it and started mixing it with vegetable oils. And you can't win. I mean, you just got to. There's more and more. That's why you can't keep coming to seminars, because stuff changes constantly. Okay, saturated fats. Okay, good or bad? Anybody, help me out.
Good. Good.
I got good. I got bad. I got mixed reviews. Bad. Did you say bad, Beth? Saturated fats. Okay, the answer to the question is this. A study on 235 women who regularly ate the highest amounts of saturated fats exhibited the least amount of plaque buildup in their arteries, okay, healthier balance of good and bad cholesterol, bad fats, I don't call it cholesterol, concentrates and other fats, and better overall health from the Journal of Clinical Nutrition.
Why did they go with unsaturated?
Well, what do you think they did it for? I did a seminar on that about a year and a half ago. What was it for? Money. Because they published a study which said cholesterol causes heart disease. And the cholesterol, what contributed to that was saturated fat. Then what they did is they came up with a whole industry of polyunsaturated fats, which are all the rancid fats I just showed you. And they said, well, we don't want to stop selling rancid fats because we want to make money. And so that's why they got away from saturated fats, because there's profit in it. Everything is driven by profit. Why do the drug companies still sell stuff that's bad for you? I don't know. They're just benevolent. Okay? All right, so saturated fats, yay, not inflammatory. In fact, you want to know something? Your brain is made up mostly of cholesterol and saturated fats. You know what the number one growing brain disease is? Alzheimer's and dementia. Because we don't eat enough saturated fat, and we take stupid cholesterol-lowering drugs to damage our bodies. Okay, it's crazy, right? Sugar. We know this one already. Sugar overload. Okay? People should consume up to 150 grams of sugar. People consume up to 158 grams of sugar during most celebrations. Christmas, you know, you got your Easter, which is just a couple days ago. We had to have the fancy cake, and Valentine's Day, and you got to get your loved one a big thing of chocolates and